Call halal Yahweh Bashem Nabashai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, who are the leaders of all Israel on earth today. Salutations to my Akim, the fellow workers and laborers who hazard their lives doing this work in truth and sincerity on the highways and byways around the four corners of the earth. To the confusion of face, Akim that are joined unto our ranks. Also to the hopeful elect and the Akwafium that are listening and learning. It's your brother Malcolm from the GMS branch here in Chicago. And I believe this is Pastor Anderson. I've done a number of videos on him before. Even posed questions to Pastor Anderson, James White, and Vocab Malone, which my videos were ignored by these particular men, and they never answered any of the questions. And as far as if I can recall, I've never heard them answer any of the questions of the apostles or the other brothers. They just deflect and come with contention and that I think and I feel stuff. But these Edomites are addressing Edom. I just did a video on it. And when I saw this video, I messaged the brother and told him that I had to respond. And through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Nabashai, here's my response. So let's let the video play, and I'm just going to like tag team with the brother, you know, and just add a few more points because he did an excellent job cutting up this Edomite madness. But let's let it play.
All right, first and foremost, Kahala Yom, all praises to Yahweh Bashem Nabashai, double honor to the elder, to grave millstone, man. And basically, these Edomites are getting scared, man. Edomites are starting to come out and preach inside of their churches why they think they're not Edomites, man. Like, you look at this dude, bro. That nigga just looks scared. Anyway, I'm gonna play the clip and analyze it, man. And
I've said it many times in the past that the hatters, or the, what's that saying? The cat is out the bag, or however that saying goes, and that at this point, the evidence that proves that we are the Israelites is overwhelming. You know, is it as apparent as a volcano erupting? All right. The evidence that proved that they're the Edomites is the same. And they're at the point now where they have to prove that they're not the Edomites, and they can't do it because all the evidence, description, and history, their own secular history points to it. Things that they won't bring up and talk about.
Now, if you think about it, Esau isn't really around today. You know, I mean, of course,
when you think about it,
Israelites, it's us, you know. But anyway, the point is, you know, Edom, the civilization of Edom or the Edomites, it doesn't exist.
Now, right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and prove that this nigga's a fucking liar just out the first 16 seconds, right? Ezekiel 35:1. Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir. Now, Mount Seir was the ancient dwelling place of the Edomites, right? So set thy face against Mount Seir or Edom, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, on Mount Seir I am against thee, or Edom I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate.
Now, to land back off what the brother said, I got a couple scriptures and a little bit of input. All right, this is Ecclesiastes. What am I looking for? This is Ecclesiastes 4:16, and it reads, There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit. And this is vanity and vexation of spirit, that Edom would say this, because the scriptures clearly said that there's no end to all the people. All right. And the prophecy says that Edom would be the ruling class people in the end of days. All right. Secondly, when Ezekiel happens, Alexander hadn't taken over the world yet, and through Alexander's seed line, his heritage can be traced right back to Amalek. All right, the grandson of Edom. Okay, so that's a bold-faced lie. All right, and this Esau just trying to duck and dodge and deny who he is, and the evidence prove who he is, man. All right, they took over the over Greece. Okay, and they started calling themselves Grecians. Okay, so when the prophecy he just read, this was a prophecy that the Lord sent this prophecy to prophesy against Edom, and Edom wasn't even the ruling class people yet. That's how the Lord operates, man. That's how cold the Lord is, man. So this dude is a clown. All right. This is that Pastor Anderson is a clown, man. All right. Let's let some more play.
All right. All right. So what he goes to further break down. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pause this right here, and then I'll finish it later on. Later on in this, right? Let me see. Right around here.
Unpunished, thou shalt not be drunken. Preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me. For thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken.
Israel.
And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. For I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord, that Basra shall become a desolation,
Edom,
a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual wastes. I've heard a rumor from...
Now, page 9, in William Beeston's, the Cambridge scholar, in William Beeston's The Kingdom of the Edomite, 1853, just brought it out in the other video. On page 9, it tells you that they found in the Jewish Targums, all right? You got to remember all those Jewish converts that were in Rome. And they found in their writings, all right, he put in his book, and this is a Cambridge scholar, the same institution, Cambridge, which printed the Apocrypha, the Bible. So now all of a sudden, Cambridge isn't a liable source. This Edomite scholar is this PhD scholar from the 1800s. You know, if that guy were alive today, they would pay him, you know, thousands of dollars to come speak at universities, to come speak at churches and that sort of thing. All right, Esau is just in denial, man. And look, they're busted. They're cold, they're exposed, and they're shameful, man. But yeah, but on page 9 in William Beeston's book, The Edomite, the Roman Empire, the Kingdom of the Edomite, on page 9, it clearly tells you that it was found in the Jewish Targums that Rome came, Basra, Rome is Idumea, Edom. All right. So we're going to read about Idumea, Edom. And you got to remember, Ezekiel was prophesying against Edom before they even came into power. The Lord put the spirit. So he spoke. That's what prophecy means, to say before. And this is Ezekiel 25. And I'm going to read verses 12 through 14. All right. And it reads, Thus saith Yahweh power, because the Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore thus saith Yahweh power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it most desolate from Teman, and they of the Dan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith Yahweh power. So that means the end of Edom is going to come at the hand of the Israelites, okay? Because that matches up with the scripture in Obadiah, which this guy was reading. He was reading Obadiah, and the end of the nation of Edom will come at the hand, physical hand of the Israelites through the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So the question is, when and where did that happen? All right? Because when Edom is destroyed, that's when the whole world will rejoice. That means the kingdom of heaven is already here. Like the brother says in his video, if this is heaven, then this is a horrible heaven, man. Okay, this is an upside down heaven.
Basically, what he's saying is that he's reading that saying that this prophecy already happened, that Edom has already become a desolation. Now, whenever you read Ezekiel 35 again, right? So we've already established that this chapter is talking about the nation of Edom, right? And if you don't believe me, you read it yourself. The whole thing talking about the nation of Edom, man. So then, when is the Most High going to make Edom desolate? Ezekiel 35 and 14. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate. Now, right now, is the whole earth rejoicing, man? Suicide rates are going up every year, man. Everybody's medicated. Everybody's addicted to opium. They're on weed and drugs and everything because they're trying to escape the reality of this world, man. That being said, who was the scripture talking about them, man? No. All right, so right here, it says, I'm going to read it again, man. Ezekiel 35:14. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate. When the whole earth rejoices. Now what's the scripture in Proverbs that everybody always brings out, man? When the wicked rule, the people mourn. Man. Push that out here real quick, man. Because you Edomites can't run from your fucking judgment, man. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people will rejoice. So when we rule, everybody's going to rejoice, right? But when the wicked bear the rule, the people mourn, because according to him, the Edomites are already gone. Meaning that what? Meaning that America is the kingdom. It is the kingdom, man. This is fucked up. This is a fucked up heaven, man. This is a shitty kingdom. And it says, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And what's going on right now, man? Because it just said it in Ezekiel 35. The whole earth rejoices. Now, right now, what's going on within the whole earth? There's wars, famines, pestilences, sickness, diseases, and everything.
Hey, everything he just said is true, and that's the sign of the end, man. This is 2 Ezra 6, verse. I'm gonna read verses 6 through 8, and it reads, "Then I considered these things, and they were all made through me, and through none other, and by me also they shall be ended, and by none other. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth, that age at Ion? When will be the beginning of the new age, the new heaven? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows." So back in Genesis, in the beginning, when the birth of Esau and Edom came, it told you that was a symbol. By Jacob grabbing that pale baby's heel, that so-called white baby's heel with their little brown hand, okay? That was symbolism of Esau being brought down and Jacob's heaven beginning. So that means that Esau would rule for a period of time, just as the scripture have said. We're living in those days now. A volcano just went off. He just talked about wars, uprising of wars, crazy weather phenomena. That's the Lord sending all that. I just watched the images of a volcano that just erupted, another one in South America, in Guatemala, and killing a bunch of those wicked, Catholic, wicked, idolatrous people of ours down there. Okay? You see all the burned and charred bodies, man. Okay? This is, let's go to the book of Job, 9:24. All right? Because that Esau had to come into power and get dominance and rulership over the world. All right? And once again, Job prophesied it before it happened. All right? Just like Ezekiel prophesied it before it happened. All right? And Obadiah prophesied it before it happened. Those are future prophecies. All the scholars say that, and all of a sudden this guy comes along and wants to change it. Why? Because they're the Edomites. Okay? This is Job 9:24, and this is, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? What was the Renaissance about? What race of people came on the scene and said they were the Israelites and put up images of themselves saying that they were the people of the Lord and put up and say that they were God and they were the angels? Who did that? The so-called white man who was Esau Edom. Okay? It also told you in the book of Daniel, before the Maccabees went to war, all right, before all that happened, before the prophecies of the Maccabees happens, man, before Esau got dominion over the earth, it was prophesied before it happened. Okay? This is the book of Daniel. I want verse 4 and 17. If I can find Daniel here. One more page. And it reads, Daniel 4:17. This is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the basis of men. So he's the lowest man on the totem pole, the wicked, he put in control of the earth as punishment to the Israelites, man. Okay? All right? And truth be said, the Edomites are the true minority of the earth. All right? They may be the majority here in America, but worldwide, they're the minority. Okay? They're the minority worldwide. Okay? And they are small among the nations, meaning that they're hated. So they're small in number and they're hated, which the brother's going to prove. You know, we're going to close this out. Right?
There's hate and bloodshed being put out all throughout the earth. The whole earth is not rejoicing, man. All right, so let's see what else this fucking devil going to say, man.
From the Lord, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, Gather ye together and come against her and rise up to the battle. For lo...
So, the nations, look, once again, if all the nations had risen up against Edom, there will be biblical records and movies made about it, man. Esau will be capitalizing in Hollywood on it. Secondly, the destruction of Edom comes, the total annihilation of Edom comes at the hand of Israel, man. There would be movies about it. There's a reason why Esau has not touched this subject, and the only reason they're touching this subject about the Edomites is because the narrative have been taken away from them and put into the hands of the men of the Lord by Yahweh Shai, and they're forced to talk about it. And unfortunately for them, the more you talk about it, the more it reveals that they are those people, and they're going to be forced to admit it. And Pastor Anderson here is more than likely going to be put to death by his own people. All right? They're going to be angry because the scriptures does say that all these false prophets will die, man, and they are.
In the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, thou that...
And we all know what people lived in the clefts of the rock, that exalt themselves as the eagle, and they still do. That's what all these high-rise buildings and luxury apartments are about. Those are just those mountainous ranges recreated in their spirit all over again. And the apartments are the holes in the rocks. That's what your skylines are. You're looking at mountain ranges. They recreated their original habitat through the spirit.
Oldest the height of the hill. Thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart.
Thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart. So him being proud makes him feel like, hey, you know what? I'm too good to be Edomite, man. I'm living life too large to be Edomite, because sometime in the video, I don't know exactly what second. I mean, it says that he says that, see, the Most High made the Edomites a small nation among the heathen, and white people are too big to be small. But basically, like, he was reading Obadiah. And it says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen that are greatly despised. And what he said is that, see, small and America is big, and white people are everywhere and everything, man. But when you read it, it's talking about small among the heathen, as in no one fucking likes you, basically, man. Right? It says, small among the heathen that are greatly despised. Basically, you aren't shit, and everybody hates you, man. Greatly despised. Now, I Googled this shit, right? This is most hated race in the world. I'm gonna go now. Urban Dictionary instantly says white people, right? So white people, single-handedly the most violent race of human beings throughout the history of mankind.
There it is.
No other race of human beings has killed more people, raped more women, destroyed more cultures, or has stolen as much land as white people. White people are the most hated race of human beings.
There it is, man. You're small among the heathen, because that's the truth. That's the history. And those are the saying, what the brother just said, what he just read, that's something that you want to talk about on your daily shows, on your history channel. All right. You use smooth words to describe your history as if everything was just like falling into your hands. No, you killed, you murdered, stole land and raped women and raped people. And then you lied about history and controlled the narrative. And then you set up your own institutions of authority to further your your plans, to further your way in your society. All right. So with that, I hope this was an edifying lesson, uplifting to the hopeful elect. All right. And degrading and terrifying to the wicked, who is Esau Edom. Call halal Yahweh by Shem Shai wa abba.